Fat Shark 101. We got ready to fly. Comes with everything you need, plus some extra goodies.
Okay.
It's got 2 replacement brushed motors, extra set of props, 2 batteries, battery charger, and all of this stuff here. $249.
Nice.
What are your first thoughts? How does that make you feel? And most importantly, you have friends, right?
Yeah, I have friends. Sometimes.
Would you recommend this to one of your closest friends who has no experience or gear in the FPV quadcopter hobby?
First impression on the goggles. Nice, simple. Let's see if they fit over glasses. That's a big plus for me. So,
You got some.
do not. I have bigger glasses.
They're about medium-sized glasses.
They don't fit over glasses.
No,
so I would have to wear them without glasses.
Geez, that's a great point. I didn't even think about glasses because I don't wear glasses.
They are comfortable though.
Mm-hmm.
They feel good. Barely any light leak. So that's good. I like them. All right.
They don't look terrible.
They're not too bad.
For the LCD screen type of goggles, like head play style.
One thing that I wish I did was diversity, but for a beginner, if you're flying in your house, you really don't need the diversity, so that's good. The controller is simple enough for a beginner. Not too many switches, which I like.
Gimbals are nice for a ready to fly. Would you recommend this to a friend at $249 for their first experience? And if not, what would you recommend at that same price point or cheaper?
See, it's hard to get to that price point though. Like that's the thing. It's hard to get it to that price point. So for what it is, I think it's pretty sweet. Is the battery charged?
Well, we'll fly it in a second here.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm getting ahead of the game. I mean, you can't really touch it. Controller's $100, cheapest one. The goggles you're looking at are $140 is what, you know, and then a drone, you can get a Gremlin for $100, you know, $120. So I mean,
Tiny Wolf's
Tiny
built.
Wolf's
Yeah,
what?
that's the
Tiny
other thing
Wolf's.
is this is built.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, so for what you get, I think it's a great deal. I would recommend it for the price point and not flying it. And right now, what I'm looking at, I would recommend it.
Good luck, man. You're going full acro?
Oh no, it's an auto level. Okay. Oh wait, that was the wrong one. That was the wrong one.
All right, so first crash, it wasn't a hard crash, but battery ejected, but I think it's supposed to. It's got a little quick eject system, which I'm always a fan of. Pop that guy back in there. It has a quick auto land feature. All right, you're good to go.
Switch it to acro.
Here we go, off to the races. So, one thing is that I did notice is there's no camera tilt, there is none.
Yeah, there's none. Actually, the lens though is actually pretty good. So like, I'm cooking pretty quick, and it's still kind of level in the camera, which is nice, you know.
Yeah, and for a beginner, honestly, if you put camera tilt on that thing, it's going to be going too fast to fly in most indoor scenarios.
Exactly.
Because it's a big quad. It felt like it carries its momentum pretty well. It gets up to speed.
And I'm back in auto level. I'm going to come back, let somebody else fly it. Now, one thing I do notice with the goggles that's kind of a downfall is they don't have a fan. I'm fogging up right now.
You're fogging?
Yeah, the optics are a little bit foggy. Because I'm sweating too, so.
Yeah. Well, back in my day, FPV goggles didn't have fans. Yeah. So, dude, look at that.
Look at those.
Dude, that's what are these the Attitude V1s? Oh, dude, I had the V1s.
Whoever's next.
Classic right there.
Yeah, I'm spoiled now though with the fan. I can't go back.
All right, Mr. Ian.
You gotta give me a second.
Okay.
Because I gotta do some research.
Ooh, okay, well, you can give me first impression.
I was just talking about this for about 15 minutes with Fat Shark's brother in that room.
Fat Shark has a brother?
Yeah. What? Dave French.
Oh, okay, yeah. So before you do your research, you can take some time to do some research.
Okay. First impressions, I mean, it looks different.
It looks like a shark.
It feels heavier than you wouldn't think it would be.
Yeah, it does.
It's definitely heavier than you think.
It's the same motors, I'm pretty sure, as the Inductrix Fpv Plus, which we recently did a video on. Mm-hmm. The Inductrix Fpv Plus, though, has smaller props because it has the ducted props.
Mm-hmm. I know that this runs on a FlySky protocol.
Okay.
So you can use this transmitter with other quads.
Did not know that.
5-inch quads. This is just NA 5.8, so you can use this with any other quad as well. That being that, for $249, not a bad deal. The quad, I don't think is worth the price though, because an Inductrix Fpv you can get for $80, and then you can get a receiver that you can link your cell phone to make, and everybody has a cell phone. Mm-hmm. You can make a cell phone your video receiver, and the Inductrix Fpv comes with, and that's a little bit better. Which is,
and we're gonna get into. We haven't flown it yet.
That's
obviously
a little bit better of a learning platform, I think, than this. I think personally, I wouldn't recommend it to a friend.
Okay.
I would think that I would be able to find a better solution for them to have a starting platform. But for the money, being that this can be used for 5-inch quads, I'm not gonna say, I don't think that someone's gonna use this for a 5-inch quad, but it can be done.
It is definitely way nicer than any other ready-to-fly transmitters that I've seen.
The gimbals are like of a nice hobby-grade gimbal.
I like the size of it.
Mm-hmm. And they actually have like these energy stick ends, which are like really nice.
It's basically like a third of the size of a normal transmitter too, so it's going to be nice.
It actually doesn't feel
Throw
bad.
this in your bag. It's nice. I like it. I wish that more transmitters, like the higher end ones, would go to more of a form factor like this. I think that'd be sick.
Does this charge off of this?
No, it charges off USB.
Okay. In the moment, I think an Inductrix would be a better learning platform for someone who's never flown before. I could save them a few bucks too.
Okay. All right. So, update. We found out that the prop guards are removable. Which took off quite a bit of weight. They just snap right off, real lickety split. You just take the props off, it's good to go. So that should help it actually perform a little bit better. Not that it performed bad, it actually had plenty of power, especially for a beginner. But we snapped those guys off, and the battery is still charging. But in the meantime, one of the cool things is it powers it off of this standard 2-cell balance lead. And I found this old 350 milliamp 2-cell. It's probably about 12 years old, but it's charged. So we're gonna plug it in and see if it works. It's actually kind of a cool plus, is that you can use other hobby grade batteries as long as they have a balance lead and they're 2-cell. So let's plug it in and see how she does. Okay, we have no prop guards, sketchy old battery, but hopefully it'll work. It's charged. And Ian, who hasn't flown it yet. So here we go.
Yeah, now we'll probably have better video.
Okay, so update, the first flight that we did initially, we were actually on the wrong channel. We were close, but we were just a little bit off. So you saw a little bit of static. It actually is gonna be better than that. All right, get the feel for it and then just start pushing it to the max to see what it really can do. Were you in auto level?
I almost just rammed it straight into the wall. So I prefer to fly brush quads in auto level, but this one just doesn't have any rate, so I wasn't used to that. But now I'm figuring out that it basically just has Sean Taylor rates, which is like 0 degrees per second. So
super docile.
Super crazy.
It's very soft, which for racers like Thrash here, not the best, but for beginners, it's honestly, I think, really good. How does it feel? First impression.
Dude, my lines are smooth.
Oh my god! It's killed me!
I told you the rates aren't that good.
Dude, how close was that to my head? Because I felt like it was
super close, and all I was trying to do was try to get it to not hit your head. And then I almost hit my own head. All right, let me put this thing out of whatever mode I'm in. All right, so full acro. Holy cow. Let's try a roll. Is that a thing? How fast are these rates?
Do it. Whoa! Did you crash? Disarm.
Wait, how do you? Oh, okay, there we go.
How was the roll like?
It was like super fast, and then it wasn't fast. The camera is black and white. Has it always been black and white?
Good.
Camera's black and white?
Camera's black and white. I feel like it might have been black and white this whole time though.
No, it wasn't.
Is it black and white still?
Still black and white.
All right, I'm gonna recycle. I'm gonna unplug. Unplug and.
Why do we always break things, guys? Come on.
It's fine now.
We good? Full color, dude. 21st century. So it was recording black and white for some reason. We don't really know why, but we recycled the battery and now it's fine. But he tried to roll it, broke a prop. Luckily, comes with his little baggie full of 2 replacement motors and 2 props. Okay, so there you have it. We have the Skinny Shark review made by Fat Shark. Now, honestly, I haven't said my opinion yet. And all that stuff that they said in there was somewhat expected, excluding Stefan, because his opinion doesn't count. I honestly believe that this is a great little quad for somebody who is a first-time buyer. And the main reason why is I will take a nicer transmitter over a cooler-looking quad. I personally am not a fan of the Shark. Now, maybe we have some Shark enthusiasts out there who really want to fly in Shark. But for me personally, the closest thing to this is going to be the Inductrix Fpv Plus. Now, obviously, I know you can build stuff for cheap. This is building million things aside, this is ready to fly package, goggles, transmitter, quad, battery charger, all out of the box for around the $250 price point. The Inductrix Fpv Plus, which this guy right here, if you haven't seen this video, we did a full comprehensive video on this. You can check the link below for that. This thing comes in at $230, ready to fly. It does not have goggles, but it has a little FPV screen, which is kind of a downer in my opinion. The goggles are kind of cool because it's an immersive experience, but on the flip side, the screen that this comes with has DVR. So it just depends on what you want, what's important to you. This obviously I think looks a little bit cooler than the Shark, but the Shark, I will say, I think it has a little bit, I think it's going to be a little bit faster. It doesn't have those ducted motors. It's a little bit bigger. Big thing for me though with the Fat Shark is this the transmitter. It's really nice. As Ian said, technically you can bind this to other quads if you really wanted to. And the main thing is just the gimbals. The form factor is nice. It's nice and small, but the main thing is the gimbals. They're gonna be much nicer than any other brushed quad ready to fly in that category. So anyways, hopefully this helped you guys. If you are looking to get your first quad, I would not rule out the Fat Shark 101. Pretty nice little ready to fly package. And I should mention too, how I mentioned about the Shark body. I was going to actually try to cut it and cut this off and cut the fin and try to make it not look like a shark anymore. But unfortunately, I do believe that there are antennas. This is actually a PCB board, and I believe there are antennas running both on the back fin and on the top fin for both, I'm assuming, your control link and your FPV link. So don't go hacking up your sharks because it will probably ruin them. But that being said, when you're flying FPV, you don't see the shark. You just see the awesome flying that you're doing. Hopefully this helped you guys. If you're looking for your first quad, check the links below to find out more information on the Fat Shark 101 and the other quads that we mentioned in this video, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Isn't that nice? It's like you caught a real fish. Can I try? I was holding full forward. It's because he jostled the gyros. Yeah, the gyro jostler. Oh, geez. That's what they call him. Some call him Sidewinder. Some call him the gyro jostler. The gyro jostler. I love that. It's my new handle, man.